All right. Welcome, class, to World Civilization 106. Um, so, first of all, I want to say that I'm very passionate about this topic. I'm always excited to teach this course, and I want to, I'm looking forward to hopefully helping enrich your lives and to getting a better understanding of different civilizations and cultures, that exist on the planet that we all live on. Now, there is one big challenge with this class, in that it's called a late start. It should just be called a cram course. Some of you will have had a cram course before. You kind of know what to expect. If you have not, you might be a little bit shocked. And many of you will be looking at my syllabus and seeing the workload and go into a little bit of a panic attack, okay? But I want to kind of rein you in and address several different things here all at the same time. Um, so this class is challenging even, without being put in a cram course setting because we cover so many different topics um, at the same time. Well, let's put it this way, meaning, when you take my U.S. history class, we go from like decade to decade, and you stay in one country for the most part, and it's very easy to keep track of. But and especially here with this late start class, we're going to be covering India, ancient Israel, and China within the same week sometimes. And you might be just wanting to stop and focus on the first paragraph on ancient India and go, wait, I got to keep moving on. I'm just trying to get my mind wrapped around this one other, small section right here. So that's a challenge with this class. It's a challenge when I'm just changing nations, civilizations week to week, but let alone 2 to 3 chapters a week is what we're covering. These late start classes are intended to condense the actual course into the 8 weeks. And so that means that I'm not cutting corners. We're really getting exposed to all the information that you would in a regular semester. And I just want you to be aware of that. So, I'm kind of like your cult leader for like 8 weeks. Okay, so tell your lover, your family, and your friends that you'll get back to them in about 8 weeks. In the meantime, you have a lot of work to do in this class. But seriously, though, I'm aware of these challenges that you're facing. I am a single dad. Now, my daughter is 17 now. She'll be 18 this upcoming April. But I've went, you know, as a college student myself, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations, and I've had to work most of the time. And, I've dealt with love drama, family drama, economic drama, these things that can distract you. And so I'm very sympathetic to so many of the issues that some of you out there might be facing while you're taking my class, especially when the workload is really quite heavy in a class like this. So on one hand, I'm very sympathetic, empathetic. I want you to call me and talk to me if you need some help or whatever. But on the other hand, I also don't have patience for laziness or people who take advantage of my kindness, okay? I mean, you want to be committed here to work, and when you come up with obstacles, I'm going to be a support to you. So, just come into my class ready to do your best, and I guarantee you I am a very supportive professor, okay? And so I just want to say that. In terms of the class structure, it's very straightforward. You're going to see that every week, Thursdays by midnight, you turn in the discussions, you turn in the notes for the videos, and then on Sundays you have 2 papers to turn in. Okay? So, what is this going to entail? My video notes, I write down I want it in a 1, 2, 3 format. What I'm really meaning, I don't want you to get too caught up on the exact format. I want to know which video you're writing on. Okay, so you're going to see the first video. Why don't you just label it 1, and you give me 2 points on it, and 2 points that are relevant. So I make the illustration, that if I talk about Martin Luther in Germany, I don't want you to say Martin Luther is German, because I don't. That's not like why I care. That's not why I brought him up. Okay, um, it's not why he's brought up in the textbook. So if you're going to write down a note on Martin Luther, say something significant, like he was a Catholic clergyman, one point, who then questioned the authority or the teachings of the church. Okay, and you can even expand. I won't cut any points for you adding to it. If you want to finish your thought, that he helped spark off the Reformation, something like that. So basically what you're doing is you're demonstrating to me that you're learning from each video, and the meat of what I'm going over. And then with the discussions, you are going to get 5 points for addressing the question or the topic that I have, 5 more points for commenting on somebody else's comment, and then 5 more points for yourself. That's except for the first week where you just do an introduction, okay, and it's just 10 points. But every week when I have a discussion, it's 15 points for you doing 3 things, 2 posts and 1 post by yourself of your own thoughts, okay? And if you get anything wrong, I'll just correct it politely, and you'll still get your full points. Now, I'm going to address this in a separate video, that I am going over a topic focused on religion. And so I am going to delete comments and make you start over if you're rude and obnoxious to your fellow students, okay? And it's such a fine line. And again, I'll address this a little bit more in the next video on what's free speech and your ability to address someone in a openly and honestly, when you deal with the history of religion, and simultaneously be respectful to students who may be actually practicing these religions and take offense to certain types of language. So it's a balancing act that I, as a professor, want to basically create a comfortable environment for all of you, so you feel comfortable to say what's on your mind, simultaneously respecting that you just can't just be a jerk to people, okay, about your ideas. And I'll talk more about that again in the next video of what I expect on that. But that's the discussion. And then when it comes to the papers at the end of the week, you will give me 2 papers on average. Now, I say 1 to 2 pages. You can get away with giving me basically a 1-page paper of one topic and a 1-page page of another. Okay, page. Yeah. Anyways, I'm looking for content. I'm looking for just seeing that you're addressing what I'm asking and that you've did the research. And you shouldn't have to go to outside sources. My class is very straightforward. What I discuss in the lectures and the textbook chapters that I have you read go perfectly together. If you want to cite Wikipedia or something else, that's fine, but you need to cite that. I will crack down on plagiarism. That's another topic I'll address later. But ultimately, my questions that I pose through my essays are in context to what you're hearing in my lectures and what you're reading in the text, okay? And I'm okay if you repeat certain things. You'll find some of this work repetitive because I want you to know it, okay? And so that's essentially the routine. The exams, you only have 2, and the points that you get on them are low compared to the work routine that you do on a weekly basis. Survival in my class is about keeping up with the work every week. And if you do that, you get A's. And most of the students who stay in my classes find that they're either getting A's or B's, or they're just getting F's and they're dropping out. In other words, you just got to keep up. So this is the other fundamental thing I wanted to say. I don't expect you to memorize all this stuff, so you don't need to stress about that. As we hit all these different topics and get so much information that your brain is going to blow up, just know you're not expected to memorize the tremendous amount of information you're going to be exposed to. You're expected to do the work and show some thought on a weekly basis about some of the things that we covered. And my hope is that as we cover all these topics, maybe later on, you'll probably forget most of this, but maybe you'll have a friend who is of a different culture, and they'll bring up a topic, and you will have something in the back of your brain that remembers, oh yeah, I remember this topic, and maybe you'll even have a question to clarify something. As you watch on the news and you're so afraid and confused about what's going on in terms of these wars and who hates us and why and who's us and who's they and blah 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 and what's it all mean, well, you'll actually be an educated person, or a person educated enough to kind of start swimming through so many things that people find confusing, and that, in my very clear opinion, well, I think it's a fact, our media sucks so bad, so bad. CNN, Fox News, trash. Okay, and when I say trash, and I'm just, I try not to cram any political bias, opinions down your throat, but the quality of these programs are bad. You will not learn anything about the world watching mainstream news. You might even become more confused. And, feel free to debate with me on this later. If you think that I'm wrong, that's cool. Okay, you're not going to get any points removed from your grades, or any hostility on my part if you have exact opposite views of me. I just want to make that very clear. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this semester, again, working with you guys here in this course. It will be a challenge. I hope to make it fruitful, interesting, and enjoyable. And again, I want you to contact me anytime, all the time, as you need. Okay.